Hey everybody, if you're even here, if you're not and you're out enjoying Valentine's Day with your loved ones, that's fine. And if you're not, enjoy our live stream. If you're watching this on the repeat, we'll go ahead and leave comments below on any of the topics we talk about, because today we've got a few things to talk about. And welcome, my name is Brad, and that is Matt, and over there, and Owen's here. And I do a live stream every single week, every Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. Central Time. And we talk about drones and stuff. And today we're going to talk about how tired I am of DJI. I wish they weren't such a decent company. I wish they didn't build the best drones and the most affordable drones. I wish there was some competition. Hey, Stan, how you doing? Owen, glad you could make it. Owen, I liked your video today. Saw that. Or was it yesterday? Yeah, it was today. Anyway. So today we're going to talk about a little bit, because Brian, who is going to pop in here and there throughout this, we'll kind of see how that goes, because he's busy this evening. I'm assuming you can hear. Hey, Steve, how are you? And he sent me an article yesterday that kind of sparked this in me. Not to mention me seeing all of the rumors, all of the hype about DJI, the Mavic 2 Pro, the Mavic or the Phantom 5. And who knows what the Inspire 3 is going to come up. Hey, RL, how you doing? Glad to see you. Thanks again. And, of course, you can hit the like button. Mike, you're new here, I think. I don't know if I've seen your name. How are you doing, Mr. Mike? Enjoy. I hope you join in on the conversation. We're going to have some fun with it. I'll say hi to you on occasion here. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about how tired I am of DJI. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but they've put out a Mavic Air. They're going to put out the Mavic Pro, probably the version 2, pretty soon, in the next month or two, I believe. And who knows, the Phantom 5 will probably come out sometime this summer. And then the Inspire 3 will maybe come out maybe in the end of the year. Who knows? But it seems like they're just putting out new product after new product after new product. And my YouTube feed is just filled with stuff DJI, between the Osmo Mobile, the Ronin S, the Mavic Air, which I'm seeing a lot of people don't really like that one. Now I'm seeing leaks about the Mavic Pro 2, or the Mavic 2 Pro, whatever they're going to call it. All right, Craig, nice to see. Glad you could stick around, but I know if your lady wants you to go, you go ahead and don't even worry about saying goodbye, because that's nice. I want you to enjoy your Valentine's Day. Hope everybody's doing great. So really quick, oh, Buster, there's a new name. How are you, Buster? Hope you're doing good. So I don't know how many of you guys, if you're big into drones, you've probably seen a crap ton of people with the Mavic Air. Are you guys tired of seeing them? Are you? I'm tired of seeing them. They're all saying the same thing. And I would really, really, really like DJI to get some real competition. So what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about who could that competition be, and what would it take to really put the pressure on them, or at least take some of that market share away. You know, we can talk a little bit of, I'm sorry, I hit the microphone. We can talk a little bit about Autel. You know, they might do it. You know, Unique, I really don't see them doing it. Would Intel step up? You know, what about some other companies, which is one of the companies I want to talk about in just a second. This is the video. I want you guys, I'm going to have to mute me and let you hear the video. Owen, we're going to talk about that in a second. So first off, this is a video that Brian had sent me. He sent me a whole article on it. By the way, the link to the whole article is in the description. It's already there. It's from TechCrunch. You guys can see that video. Products coming out. We're going to afford one good one, and you only need one. Exactly, Buster. And that's what's driving me crazy. But let's take a look at this first company. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop my audio, and we're going to watch this video. It's only a few minutes, and I've got their name on there. This is a brand new company. They're a bunch of MIT kids. The article says they got some good funding going on, and that this drone is coming out, or it's already out. You can look at their website. The only problem is it's a little pricey, and we'll talk about the price after the video. First, I got to mute me and turn that on. Some of you like that. Some of you read the name wrong. But anyway, Evo. We'll get into Evo in just a second. Okay, nth degree. First, a flying pancake. Exactly. The Skydio. It's a Skydio. It's a little big, but it's also a little big on price. It's $2,500. It's a 4K, 60 frames per second. Everything is great, and it can follow you doing whatever. What about the drone, though? The drone, I think the video. I mean, that video was straight from the drone. I think that company, at least, they have a shot because they've got a lot. It's got a lot of good things that the DJI does not have. Why so much? It's probably because there's 12 damn cameras on it, honestly, and there's all that stuff, and that processor probably isn't that cheap, and that I don't really know. That's my guess. These are all guesses. Exactly. It's more than the P4P. But we're going to get into Phantom in a minute too, because there was some rumors going around about the Phantom and the Mavic Pro 2 and all this stuff. We'll talk about that again. But it took the operator out of the picture. Yes, Matt. And that's not too bad. I mean, it's good for a certain segment, and also the control. You only control it with one hand, so there are some other issues with that. I don't know how that works. I don't like controlling anything with just my phone. I don't like that. I like to have a remote because it's thing. Stan, there is going to be a market for it. If they can drop the price down, there will be a market for it. If they don't bring the price down, it's already dead in the water because there's going to be about 5 people that buy it. I would buy one, but not for $2,500. I think it's just too much. Now, that's one of the companies that I think if they can meet the market demand a little better with price and with something a little smaller, I think that they will definitely. They could give them a little bit of competition. What the heck? I don't know what that one. I don't know how that got in with mine. Is someone logged in as me? I don't think. Nope. Anyway, so I missed something. Going after the karma market. Yeah, Matt, I could be doing that. I'll give him $450. I think it's worth a little bit more than $450. I think it's worth closer to the $800-900 range because it is a good 4K camera. If it had a 1-inch sensor, it'd be even better. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Mavic Pro 2. The Mavic Pro 2, all the rumors I'm seeing, and these are rumors, again, can't really substantiate these. It's going to have the 1-inch sensor. It's going to also cost around $1,100-1,200, and probably the Fly More will be $1,400-1,500. And you're saying, oh, that's about the price of a Phantom 4 Pro. And you're like, yes, it is, because the Phantom series are going to be up to the $2,000 mark. Isn't that wonderful? Gotta love that. No, I hate that. So now my Phantom 5s, and the Phantom 5 it's supposed to have all this, like we talked in the video before, the removal or the exchangeable lenses and all this other stuff, maybe retractable gear. I think it's still going to be the 1-inch sensor, but the Evo, let's go back to the Evo. I want to come back to that because that is something that, okay, so is that going to take it? Yeah, it's not a 1-inch sensor, exactly. It's $2,500 for not a 1-inch sensor. So they've got some learning to do. These are MIT kids. They're not marketing masters. They're geniuses up here. They're not marketing people. They just make really cool stuff. So, but let's go back to the Evo. The Evo, from a rumor also has for the Evo that the Mavic DJI is trying to make sure that they buy all the 1-inch sensors so that Evo can't get them, so that Autel cannot get them for the Evo, which is an issue. I do know that Evo is supposed to be, or Autel with the Evo is supposed to be at some show in New York on March 3rd, I think it is. But they still haven't released it. You don't hear anything from them. Everybody that I've talked to, a lot of people that I've talked to, they're losing confidence in Autel. Okay, Autel has a chance, and they are not striking when they need to strike. They are not doing a very good job. They need to get it done, but is the Evo good enough to take over? I don't know, because it's got to have the 1-inch sensor, and they're not totally willing to throw that out there at this point. For everything I'm hearing, they're more all about the 1 2/3 sensor, or whatever that's called. My brain is gone. Why is everybody liking the small drones? They get so far away you can't see them. Maybe I'm getting old. Steve, we're both getting old. But I like the small drones because they're compact and it's a lot easier to move around. 400 yards? That's, the Mavic, yeah. I had mine, we'll talk later. But anyway, You guys got me. You see, you done did got me sidetracked already. See how fast that was? But the Evo, I just don't. I have very little confidence in Autel. I'm losing confidence in Autel just simply because they don't communicate. Lately, DJI is communicating the crap out of everything. They're doing slow leaks. They're doing everything that the cell phone people do. They're leaking stuff out a few months in advance. They're getting people excited from the leaks, and then they go from there, and then they bring out their stuff. It's like, oh, look, cool. And then they bring out some other product you didn't even expect, a.k.a. the Mavic Air. Some people didn't know that was coming out, but now they have all of this stuff, and that's what Autel does not do. I don't know whether it's because they're unsure of when they're releasing, or if they don't, or I just don't know. What is it? You got the P4P instead of a Mavic because the camera on the the camera on the P4P it outweighs the Mavic, and there's definitely no disputing that. Some people with Mavics will say they're better. DJI is doing exactly what Apple does. They use their exact same marketing. Yes, Stella. Oh, and hi, Stella. How are you? They always will, and it's all cell phones. I mean, Samsung does it. Motorola, no, I don't think Motorola does it, but LG does it. All those cell phones do it. Releasing glitches. Oh yes, tell me about it. But see, that's they all do that. If you look, and Apple's doing that with their big new HomePod. That speaker, that thing, it sounds great, but it has problems up the yin-yang if you watch some of those review videos. If you're not have a company like the rest of DJI, the rest of the companies would have no incentive to do better. If not for DJI, I might never have gotten into drones. And Stan, you're right, but I think that someone now, a bigger company or a company has got to put serious pressure on DJI so that everybody continues to innovate. I agree with you, but the problem is they've gotten too big. Exactly. They communicate. Okay, so Autel communicates, but not do it publicly. See, and they need to do it publicly. They need to create a fake Twitter account that's got Joe Blow or whatever. Owen, I'll get there. Just anyway. One of the things, and this is okay. So we'll go into what Owen's talking about. So I don't know if Owen, I don't know if you're just thinking what I'm thinking, or if you and I talked about this or not, but a few times I've thought about, okay, what really needs to happen, and this is one of my crazy ideas. This is totally out there. What needs to happen? Well, I would, and I've got to show you this here. I actually have tried to, and some of you may have noticed this on Twitter. I've actually thrown some things out there to Elon Musk, whether or not he's listening is I don't know. We'll see. But I know that I've gotten some retweets from some places. But I've been trying to get. If you think about it, if you have SpaceX and Tesla technology, both of those all those technologies, Tesla with their battery technology, SpaceX with their they can land a rocket automatically coming back from low Earth orbit, and they land it on a launch pad. In fact, they can land two of them simultaneously. Boom. Okay, well, if they can do that, what do you think those guys could do in their spare time? Hey, Neil, how are you, man? I hope you're doing good today. But if they can do that, what could they do in their spare time? If you had, like I said, the Tesla battery guys and the SpaceX rocket scientists, because drones isn't rocket science. Now, there is hats and shirts, also hats and shirts. Yes, the Solo Reborn. We'll talk, yeah, anyway, I'm not even going solo, because DJI bought Solo, so that doesn't work. But anyway, so if Elon Musk said, "Hey guys, we're gonna use our SpaceX engineers and our Tesla battery engineers, and we're gonna put this all together." Poof! He has the money and he has the drive. If Elon Musk made up his mind to do this, he would give DJI a run for the money. There's no doubt about it. I mean, because he's got the resources to do it. Even if someone like who's the guy in Shark Tank, the really rich Mark Cuban, even if he thought he could do it, if he put his mind to it, he could do it. But he's not going to. These people aren't, because they are too. They're bigger thinkers. They're thinking, Elon Musk is like, I'm going to Mars. I mean, he sent a Tesla to Mars. Well, he's going to miss Mars, but anyway, he sent a car out into space. So the fact that that's what he's doing, him doing a drone company is probably not going to happen. But what would be really cool is if he allowed his rocket science people on the side, or give them a day or two, or even several weeks or whatever he's got to do, more time than that, to create a drone company, it would be freaking awesome. Or if he did what he did with the Hyperloop and say, hey, here's what I want to do. But then that's really not going to work either, because drones are drones. He's got to really put it put it there. You're a big star? Okay, I missed something. I got to go back. So anyway, how is everybody? So Elon Musk, I mean, I would love it. I would absolutely love it if he did that, because I think he's got deeper pockets. He's selling cars, rockets, and not flamethrowers. Oh, he's selling flamethrowers. There's people that have bought those. And think about it. Those flamethrowers are cheaper than our drones, than, the P4A, the P4P. Think about that for a minute. And T-shirt. Yes, maybe apply the collision system from Tesla on a drone. Exactly. That kind of stuff, living in Mexico, that's perfect. If you put that kind of collision detection on a drone, that'd be great, except I think that CPU might be a little bigger, so the drone might be bigger. What about Intel? Intel has they did the Olympics, the Winter Olympics. They had 1,280 drones flying in unison, making up shapes of a snowboarder in the Olympic rings, and they did it. Now, granted, they didn't do it live, and they recorded it for later, but it's still, the fact that they did it is awesome. 1,280 drones at one time. Is that amazing or what? Oh, you created a not flamethrower company overnight. Yes. If Musk makes it a drone, it will be to carry people. Yeah, it would be. You're right, it would be, Stan. He would have it carry people to SpaceX so that they could take a trip to Mars. They're called not flamethrowers to bypass customs. Oh, is that what it is? Air Views. I've never heard of Air Views. Is that another drone company? I would love to know that. I have not heard of Air Views. So there's something that you guys can look up, and you guys probably know more about it than I do at this point. You guys look that up. No, but these are. What do you guys think? What in a company? I mean, the things that a company would have to do in order to give DJI real competition, they'd have to have better object avoidance and be able to fly like the one that we just saw, like the Skydio. They'd have to be able to fly like that. Okay, we'll talk later. See you later, Craig. Have a good Valentine's Day. So they would have to have something that's really good at three-dimensional object avoidance all around, and be able to fly under, around, without, autonomously like that other drone did. It would have to have a darn good camera. I would love to see a Micro Four Thirds or better. Exchangeable lenses. Now, and this is talking for the people who are like us, who really want, or like me, I'm assuming, who want to create really good videos. Now, of course, you got the Inspire 2, but you don't want to be able to, that's going a little bit too far. But let's say just for the consumer, the really good object avoidance, a really good camera, minimum 1-inch sensor. I would like to at least have the f-stop capability. If that didn't happen, then, if it would be more for the masses rather than for me. And it might be better. Same quality, lower price, yes. If it's the same price and a little better quality, something, retractable or not, I don't care about if the gear goes up and down. I don't care about all that fancy stuff, unless, of course, if the camera do like the Unique and do the 360 under, without having to rotate the drone, and you can pan the camera without the drone, that would be nice. You can ask. In fact, I've got some stuff in a minute. Just a second, Steve. We'll get to that. But those are things that I think those are things that you want. A good remote, a decent distance, but you don't need to go too far. I would like to see. This is a me. This is not mainstream. I'd like to see the HDMI out on the remote. My NVIDIA tablet does the HDMI out, but I'd like to see an HDMI out on the remote like the Inspire 2 does. It's cool, but that's not a must-have. I think that it's, third-party, the biggest thing is third-party app support. That is the biggest thing, because you want to allow people, other companies, to program for your drone. If you have the third-party support where people can easily work with your drone, that right there is really going to help you out. I think that's probably the biggest issue that takes DJI above everybody else, because DJI does that better than most people. The Unique update their specs or it's done. Exactly. Unique, I'm not sure Unique is going to stick around. I don't know. I'm not too confident with Unique today. I'm not saying they're going to be out, but they're not going in a very good direction. So, third-party stuff messes with insurance? How's that? Because if you can have all the object avoidance still work, I mean, it's got, in my opinion, the object avoidance has to still work. A Google Android drone. There's another, see, you know, and I had thought about that too. There's another company with deep pockets and smart people. I mean, if y'all want me to run a company, that's a really dumb idea because I'm not that smart to create the drone. How much spare time does SpaceX employee have? I think they have about 3 minutes every single day. So, yeah, there is that. They don't have a lot of spare time. I wish, but I hope you understand my point. Like with Google, Sapasiex is fine. I didn't even read it. I didn't even read it the way you spelled it. But like J-Bar just said, Google or Android drone, a Google Android drone. I think that like I said, they've got the money because I don't like Apple DJI. You know, I'm right there with you, man. I am a 100% Android fan. I don't like Apple. My wife has an iPhone, and anything goes wrong with it, I'm like, I don't care. I'm not helping you. Oh, okay. If it crashes in Litchi app, DJI can say, well, it would have been fine in the DJI. Okay. Well, Owen, I think you're splitting hairs at this point, honestly. Read my mind, tiny book. Bigot. Scott, you're supposed to be on a date with your girlfriend. I thought you would be out on a date, so I'm gonna ream Apple while you're gone, because you know I don't like Apple. He's like that. He's been an Apple fanboy for a long time, and he is also a tech guy, so he also has an open mind most of the time, except when it comes to Apple. Anyway, I think that again, third-party support. I still just lie. But your business is fixing Apple. Oh, Stella. Okay, you go ahead. You guys are a riot. You guys are a riot. And you guys, I don't care if you know. I mean, everybody. I'm not shy about saying I don't like Apple, so I don't care what you guys say. I mean, it's fine if you're an Apple fan. Great. If you love Apple, great. It's a good tool. I mean, for a lot of people, it's great. I don't like it. You know, I was for a long time, I was the Microsoft guy. You couldn't get me off of Microsoft. I still enjoy Microsoft. I used to be a programmer. It was all Microsoft. You couldn't get me to do very little Java or very little anything else. And now I'm not a programmer anymore because that went out of business. Anyway, you're an Apple and DJI fanboy because they're the best. Apple is going downhill quickly. Maybe not the same as DJI soon. I am not. Okay, so now we're getting in a fight in the chat. Sweet. Oh, yeah, Scott. I'm not gonna go down the road. I know you're baiting me. I'm not gonna bite. Oh, I feel restricted using Apple stuff, but they do jobs pretty good. Okay, so let's get back to drones. We're back to drones because, first of all, Steve, about an hour and a half ago, asked me if I flew today. And the answer is, yep, I got to fly today. I got out there. These are not video because I didn't have time to edit my video. But I went ahead and I took a couple of pictures. Oops, there we go. So, yes, I did get out to fly today. And boy, was it... It was a beautiful, beautiful day. No clouds. Oh, man. You love editing and Final Cut. That's fine. You go right ahead. Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro works on both. But get back to drones. What else in a company do you guys think? Steve was looking at the girl. Oh, Stella. P Pro, the Phantom Pro, the that's what I'm assuming you're talking about, J-Bar. Okay, calm down, peoples. Calm down. We're not here. I just made a nice little comment about Apple. That's all. Let's Premiere Pro. Sorry, yes, I love Premiere Pro. That's all I use. Premiere Pro. Well, I use that in After Effects because After Effects does some really cool stuff like that. Right? Oops, that right there did After Effects. And I did some stuff for Craig too on his channel, Squappies. Final Cuts back. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I don't want to fight about this. I don't want to fight, guys. Can't we just all get along? That's about the only thing Final Cut's better than. Everything else, Premiere Pro rocks it. When I was watching, or I watched another guy edit in Final Cut, I mean in person, live, and all that, but it looked like a toy. It did not look like anything professional. I mean, I know professionals use it, but I'm pretty sure there was. Yeah, let's see. Have you guys ever heard of Deadpool? Because Deadpool was edited in Premiere Pro and After Effects. Pretty sure that made a couple dollars, and I believe we'll see if Deadpool 2 is also edited in Premiere Pro and After Effects. So, how many movies have been made in Final Cut? I mean, like, big movies, not some little movies. I mean, a lot of independent movies have, but what about big movies? With the whistle. Yeah, no shit. I hear you, Scott. Oh, I know. Nth degree. Yeah, that's a bit. Anyway, so some people like, some people don't. And I'm going to give you my. Yeah, Reynolds made that movie, but that movie was completely edited in Premiere Pro and After Effects, and they're very proud of it. They tell you you watch the credits, their logos are like massive, because I think they also put a little money in it, or they at least gave them all the stuff they needed for free. Media 100 and Avid. I've never heard of Media 100, but I know a lot of people who use Avid. Okay, Owen. Oh, the chat is really glitchy. Is it gone crazy? I think it's because it's Apple. Apple probably. People say the word Apple and they get stupid. Doesn't know what to do. Oh shit! You guys are being hilarious. What was I gonna say? You guys took me off. Movies edited with Final Cut Pro. Do 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 do. Which one do you use today? You use I don't know which one you use, RL. Yeah, watch the one on the screen. Okay, well, go look up Premiere Pro now, Scott. If you did one, you have to do the other. Go look. Let me see. Full frontal, not much. The ring, okay, it's got a little bit. Oh, well, this software doesn't run on Apple because this is too good. Movie Maker, woohoo! Yeah, let's do all Movie Maker, Living Mexico. Whoa, so yeah, the software. Oh, I know why you think Antwell. Do you know the flight? Yes, I know Flight Test. I know who they are, but I don't watch all their videos. So, really quick, guys, the reason the chat seems kind of weird is because I have it set for top chat. It's a new feature, Napoleon Light Dynamite. Anyway, Scott, I want to see Premiere Pro because you haven't even said it. I don't have time to look it up. If you're going to say one, you have to say the other. You have to do both arguments. Because what I say, I did Movie Maker for years. I did Movie Maker for minutes. Anyway, so what I say about Apple is not bad, okay? It is not for me. It is not bad. It is for a lot of other people. So I personally don't ever want to... Oops, I keep hitting that. I personally don't ever want to use any Apple product. But however, I like Android. Android is for other people. Other people love Android. It's no big deal. See? There's some Premiere Pro. There you go. In conjunction with Avid Media, blah, 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 blah. See, both. My point is, and Scott, you're helping prove my point. My point is that it doesn't matter. It's all a preference. Thanks, J-Bar. I appreciate it. So, you guys asked me, do I know Peter Stripall? No, I don't know that. If he's on the flight test crew, I don't know anybody else. I know Variable because we chat. I know Owen because we've chatted. Stan is one of my patrons. Scott is another one of my patrons, which is why I give Scott the benefit of the doubt. Plus, Scott's a friend of mine from a long time ago, so, I mean, and he's still a friend of mine. Well, maybe not after this video, but we'll see. Exactly. There are multiple ways to get things done. I mean, when Scott and I met when I was a programmer and a web developer and all of that, and he was also in IT, and we had many conversations. It's like there's so many different ways to do this one thing. Which tool do you want to use? You know, there's more than one hammer. There's more than one size hammer, and it just with all this software stuff, it doesn't matter. It all works. Doesn't matter. Now, Movie Maker on the other hand sucks because it's very basic, very very basic. It works in the beginning. It gets you going, gets you started. It's great, awesome, and then once you go. Anyway, so now that conversation's done, I guess I had to state my opinion at one point, huh? It walks. I think somebody doesn't know how to type. Does what's needed. Exactly. Movie Maker's just it barely works. I have so many issues with that because I've got, that's me. I use Splice on an iPad for all my videos up until September. It took days as I would upload to Google Drive first to get my iPad. Okay, well, and that's how Splice is an editor by GoPro. Yeah. Premiere Pro you can get it on the Android, you can get it on the iPhone if you're part of the deal, whatever it is, the Creative Cloud. I haven't tried using it to edit videos because this screen is way too small to be editing videos. But you're just doing it for a quick. I don't do just quick videos. Have you guys noticed that? My quickest video, I'll do a quick video, but I can edit on my computer in about an hour. It would take me 2 hours to edit the same video on the phone or more. It'd be crazy. Do I know Abraham Lincoln? Yes. Work the crowd. Shows you are extremely dedicated. Owen, and your latest video turned out pretty good. And I'm going to say something. Owen had to he felt that he needed to put a different version of his video up because people were saying the exposure was off. Owen, you don't worry about what other people say. If you think the exposure's off, then it's off. If you think the exposure was perfect, then it was perfect. It's you, nobody else. It's your film. You do whatever you want. Most people, yeah. Okay, Jay Bart, that's a good question. What compression resolution do you use for export for web use? When I export to YouTube and I'm just doing like this kind of video, a vlog video or something that's not a drone video, if it's exclusively drone footage video, it's all 4K and I do the highest bit rate that I can. But when I do like a vlog or whatever, I do 1080p and I do 20 to 25 bits per second or whatever the bit rate. And my bit rate is between 20 and 25. And that gives me a little bit better detail. The lower your bit rate, the crappier your video will look. The higher the bit rate, the bigger the file is, the better the video. But at one point, YouTube is going to compress it anyway. So if you're going to put it on YouTube, 20 to 25 is going to be fine. I don't think they really don't seem to mess with mine too much at that level. I haven't tried to go any higher. At Vimeo, you can probably go higher than that. Don't really know what. I don't use Vimeo. I think I've uploaded like one video to Vimeo, so I'm not really sure. But basically, my bit rate's 20 to 25 and in HD, 1080p, 1920. Do you work with proxies all the time? Because my computer cannot handle the 4K videos live. I have to get... Now, I'm also taking donations for a new computer. I need about $800. Yeah, for clients and finished products... H.265, yes, you can do H.265 in Premiere. Yes, you can. In fact, I got to make a video talking about that. That's something I've been trying to get to do because I know the 4 Pro will record in H.265. Oh, yeah, dude, living in Mexico, sorry, I should probably say Mexico. I hope I said it right. Anyway, you definitely want to use the proxies. I just use like an H.264 proxy, whatever size, and then I just kind of resize it to make it look good in the frame, and then I go from there. And then I render it to the 4K, because the rendering is what's going to take long. The proxies, sometimes if I have a lot of 4K footage, I will set it up overnight to run the proxies, or I'll start it and I'll walk away, because sometimes it will take, depending on how many files you got, it could take up to an hour. And unless you have a really bad, if you have a really bad computer, it could take a couple hours. Mine take 30 minutes to 40 minutes, sometimes an hour if I have a lot of them to proxy. And then I create the proxies, and then I go in, I edit, and then when I go and render, depending again on how long the video is, it can take maybe 10 minutes to render, and it might take 25 minutes to render, and it looks great. So, upscaling 1080p at 4K in Premiere ends up with better quality video on YouTube because of higher bit rates. Yeah, I've not had a problem upscaling 1080p, and I've done it a couple times. If you guys saw my look back to 2017, there was several clips in there that was 1080p upscaled to 4K. I'm guilty of raw video, but no more. Oh gosh, RL, that's some serious. You got to have a big ass computer for that and a lot of storage. Hey Brad, I'm going to purchase P4P and was wondering what camera is better, GoPro Hero 6 or the one on the P4P. I had a Karma in the past, that's why I'm asking. Well, here, let me show you a picture. Here's a picture from mine today. Here's another picture from my P4P today. What I like over that, the GoPro has the curve. I don't like that curve. And by the way, those are raw. Those are straight out of the camera. I did nothing to them. I brightened the straight down one a little bit because it just kind of looked very boring. But the GoPro has the curve, the wide angle curve that you see along the sides. I don't like that. So I would say the P4P. 12 megapixel? Yeah, those are 12 megapixel. Could you make a vid on that? I would like to learn more. Steve, make a vid on the bit rate? Is that what you're asking about? Because if you're talking about the bit rate and all of that, I can do that. Scott also, and Scott asked me on the side in Facebook, he would like to see a video on how I cut to the music. Would you guys like me to do a video, a video on me to cut to the music? Making do. That would be something I would do for you guys. You guys tell me. I like making videos. Have you noticed? Have you? Have you? I want to make a 265, 264 video, but I don't think I'll be able to upload two different codecs because, that doesn't work that way. The video is in one codec, not two. So I'd have to upload, and I don't even know if YouTube supports 265, so we would play around with that. I'm glad you like the examples. No problem. You happen to catch me on a perfect day because I just went out today and took those. Those were literally from about 5 hours ago. Unless you take a picture of it. You take a picture of me and your camera breaks. The P4P is 20 meg. Oh, okay, so 20 meg. Why am I thinking? Oh, I'm thinking the Autel. That's why I'm thinking 12. GoPro has a linear mode that reduces fisheye. Sounds like P4P has more camera adjustments. Yeah, the P4P has a lot more camera adjustments. You got f-stop, you got ISO, you've got the obviously shutter speed, and you also have you got a few different profiles. I know the GoPro has some profiles too, but I'm just not a GoPro. I mean, the GoPro is a good camera. I've had one, and I got rid of it. Blah, blah, blah. And anyway, no, I don't live in Michigan, but I used to. A long, 9 years ago. The GoPro is an awesome camera. And Scott has one, and he's got, I don't know if he got the 5 or the 6, but he's got the Karma, so he's got the 5 or the 6. I'm not sure. GoPro has very little of that stuff. Yeah, GoPro is an action cam. It's not meant to be a detailed camera. The kind of, I mean, I know because Scott uses also a DSLR, so I know he knows how to set a good picture. And by the way, Scott's an awesome photographer. He's got some really good stuff. I was amazed at his stuff. You got the 6 Black, so you've got the better of them all. The Yi Light is good. And see, if you just want an action cam, those are good cameras. The Yi, I've heard good things, and the 6 Black is good. The Yi is $100. The 6 Black is like $500. You go where? Hey, Brian, what's going on? I'm glad you made it. You can attach a GoPro to your Phantom 4 and film with both. You can, but I'm not going to do it. No, thank you very much. It does what it does, but you can't do a lot of control. Oh, that is actually a rerun. So yeah, the GoPro is a good camera. It's meant to be an action camera. It's meant to be hands-off, easy peasy. You throw it on your helmet and you throw it on your handlebars and you just go, and that's it. I feel sorry for the GoPro. It was an awesome drone when it was announced, but the Mavic knocked it out of the park. You know, Owen, had the Karma not dropped out of the sky from bad battery connection, I think it would have given Mavic a little bit of pressure, because I like the Karma. The whole idea of you get the Karma, you get a GoPro, and you get the Karma handle, all of that together, that was a good deal. If they would have pulled that off right, that would have definitely been, they'd still be doing it. They wouldn't have shut down Karma. So, oh well. How's the P4 week out in the cold? Even as, you know, eject, it works fine. Of course, it was like 40 degrees today, so it was perfect, not a problem at all. But I've flown it in under 30 degrees, and that's fine. It flew just fine. The battery life, I think if you start getting down into the teens, that's when you start having an issue. When you get down closer to 0, your battery life is going to be very short. Obviously, not a lot of sun. You don't want to do it. P4P plus GoPro, that could be interesting. Does anybody else have a remote camera controls on par with DJI? You can get, if you get a DSLR, you can actually have an app on your phone that you give you controls. But again, it's going to be slower, and it's all Wi-Fi based, and it's a little bit of a lag. No. Okay. Don't think so. Yeah, as far as the control on that camera it's amazing. See, and these now we've gone completely off topic, guys. We've gone completely off topic. The things I like were the gimbal and remote, but the arms weren't worked on enough, and being better collapsing mechanisms such as the Mavic. Yeah, and I think again, Owen, if they wouldn't have screwed up, and they would have had a second version of a Karma, I think that would have been a much better situation. I think it would have been far, far, far better. I think that they would have gone in towards the foldable drones, and it would have been better. I don't know. I'm really upset that the Karma, because it's a good drone. I still want to fly Scots. Possibly unique with the E90. The E90, yeah, talking about with the camera, with the good camera controls. Yeah, I think the E90 is a good one. Don't they have another camera? Is that the new camera, or is that the old camera? I'm not as up to par on unique equipment as you or other people might be. But yeah, the unique does have that's the Typhoon H5, whatever the hell it is. That one definitely does. Enable bashing DJI commercial. Thank you very much, Scott. Yeah, the unique would definitely have a good camera. So anyway, let's talk about unique, and the E50 is the last. Okay, so those are things. I'm gonna bring this back, Scott. You just watch this. So all of these things that we're talking about, the good remote control, the good camera, the good object avoidance, usability, being able to just grab the remote and go, and not have to learn 50,000 things, because that's what a lot of people need, but also to not put people in danger, like flying into people, object avoidance, etc. All of these things are must-haves. I want the third-party support. I want that third-party app support. I want all of that, and I would love to have that in a nice compact thing that can handle 500-mile-an-hour winds. Okay, maybe not 500, but a good stiff wind. I'd like to be able to see it fly now. It was windy today, and my P4P did a great job of flying. I loved it. I want to see more on the Evo. Everybody does. J-Bar, everybody wants to see more on that. And Matt has a really good. He has a good in with Autel, and he's I mean, Matt and Brian both are Autel boys, and I want Autel to succeed, but I am losing hope more and more every week, just because they don't communicate to the public very well. I really wish they would, because I think they have the closest bet, or the better chance of anybody right now. And if someone like Elon Musk or Google or whatever actually teamed up with Autel Robotics, that would probably be a big market share taken away from DJI. I'm not saying that DJI would go away. That's not going to happen in the foreseeable future unless they do something ridiculously stupid, which they've come close to doing, like spying on everybody and all that, and that kind of stuff. If they keep doing stupid things like that, DJI can take a big hit. But I don't want DJI to go away. I want them to still survive, and I want them to still be a good size market share, but I don't want one company to have such a big market share. It's best. Like with Google and Apple, just exactly how we were talking. I like Android. You like Apple. Who cares? They're both good. They both have a good market share. I don't know what the market share is. I don't care what the market share is. I really don't. But that's what I want. Is I want to have an Android for, to go against the DJI. That's what I want to have. And if Google and Android do it, fine. I want them to have to where they're always going back and forth where mine's better, no, mine's better, no, mine's better, and they continually get better. And who wins? The consumers win. That's who wins. That's what I want. How was that for bringing it on back? Anyway, you've only seen one person flying a Typhoon H? Oh, wow. I've seen the S1000. That's a beast. I think you've seen the video. I don't have a link for it, but you've seen it. I've seen people fly in the Inspire. Of course, I've helped fly that. The Autel, because I had one. And flown with Brian. He has one. What else? The Mavic. I've flown with Mavic. So, yeah. That wouldn't be a fair comparison. I missed something. I want to see more on the Evo, Fan 4 Plus, Obsidian Unique, Typhoon. Yeah, Typhoon H, competitive drives, innovation. I've lost. I don't know what you mean, J-Bar. I think I missed something. P4P versus the H520. You don't think that'd be... Yeah, Matt, I want to know. Unfair on which one? Because I think the H520... because it has the 360, the swivel camera, the legs come up, and it's got 6 motors, so one can die and you can still fly. I think the unique, and the camera, the Russell Robotics, awesome. And the camera is, I think, it's not the big, it's a very good sensor like the P4P. I think the camera is comparable to the P4P, and everything else brings it up to the P4P. Coming to your stores in 2035, Russell Robotics. You better do it a little bit quicker than that. It better be in 2019. Got it? Get with those Android boys and create yourself a kick-ass drone. Android and Intel and everybody else. H480. P4. Okay. Okay, RL. Russ, we'll get you. You get this started next week. Okay, we'll get you going. You call those Google boys. See how that works out for you. Oh, you guys, this has been a fun one. Do you think there is going to be a Spark 2? Yeah, there's no question. The Spark 2 is coming out, I believe they said end of summer, fall. Tal H500 has been good to me. Yeah, see, and Russ loves that thing. And if you guys watch his videos, he's doing stuff on his house, and he's throwing it up there, and it's perfect. Mavic Air Spark 2, the same thing. It's going to be close because the Mavic Air is going to move up a little bit more, too. But the Spark 2 is still not... I don't believe it's going to be foldable, but it's going to have rear sensing, object avoidance, and a couple other things. Their rumors coming out on that one aren't really that specific because it's still too far out. The Spark is not going to be discontinued. No, they're coming out with a Spark 2. It'll be out, like I said, fall. And it's the 4K. Yeah, it might. I mean, I don't really care because the Spark I have no interest in the Spark. Zero interest in that. I almost had an interest in the Mavic Air until I saw the stuff, and the short battery life of that is just ridiculous. The Mavic Pro 2 is supposed to have 30-plus minutes of flight time, like in the 32-minute range, 33-minute range, and that was on the test bed, and that's not on the new one when they're going to make some tweaks. So we'll see. I like this 30-minute flight time. I don't know. Well, it's not going to be discontinued this year. It's going to be maybe in a couple years, but I don't think it's going to be this year, Stan. I don't know. That's my opinion. I'll look at that later, Matt. I just saw that. Wi-Fi connection is ridiculous with the Mavic Air. And what do you mean by ridiculous? Good ridiculous or bad ridiculous? I've seen like 11,000 feet, which is 2 miles, which is 3.2 kilometers. I might as well give you the kilometers since you are in that side of the world. We got 14 people pretty steady. That's pretty cool. Boy, you guys are making me talk a lot. That's awesome. This has been a good live stream in my opinion. I really like extremely horrid. That's not what I've seen. But then again, I haven't tried to fly one around Chicago and probably won't unless someone wants to. I'm sorry about this flickering. I don't know why. It's my exposure on this camera. If I move here, I move here. Okay, sorry about that. Good strem. It is a strem. But I've enjoyed this talk with you guys. It's a lot of fun. I'm glad we had the little argument about Apple and Android because, you know, you got to have at least one of those on a YouTube channel somewhere. So now that's over with. We don't need to go there anymore. Got first time on my wife find a 4K in 2 years. Well, nothing compared to the P4P. First hand, yeah, you're right. But the P4P is still a Wi-Fi technology. It's just use Livestream. They are making big. You know, not if they might get a lot of them coming back. You don't know, Stan. I mean, that's my thought is. You know, my thought is that there's a lot of people that are not happy with the Mavic Air, and they're sending them back. Yeah, he's a little bit of a snob. He likes his little black drone. Wait till I get a P5P for $4,000 or whatever crazy number it's going to be. I tried it with 4K, but that's a rerun. Anyway, guys. I'm a life snob, so I'm not a drone snob. But Owen, you have no reason to be a snob. You have nothing to be a snob for. If you really want to go, let's go down that road for a minute. You actually have to be, you know, something to be a snob. Oh. See, now Owen's gonna go home and cry like a little boy. He'll cry himself to sleep. It's past your bedtime. Who asked me? Oh, that was a while ago. Someone asked me about Michigan. They must have seen my snow pictures and thought I lived in Michigan. No, actually, I live in Chicago, and those were in Chicago. Yeah, Scott the snob ought to know. Let's just do that. Let's go there. Come on, Scott. Scott's gonna get my address because if he's on, he's got the level of Facebook friendship that he can get my address. He can come kick my butt. Well, Owen, it feels pretty good to insult a child sometimes. It's just a lot of fun. Because it's the only time I can win. You know, I can't insult adults because they always win. They always beat me because I'm not that good at it. Really, I'm not that good at it. So, you know, you're my cannon fodder. Okay, guys, I want to talk to you about some other... Do you really think the Air is really the Spark 2? No, it's not. The Air is going to be different. It's this much of a difference of a market, but it's just enough that DJI thinks it's a good thing. I think it was stupid. I think it was a stupid move. I think they should remove the Spark, but the Spark is something else. The Spark is for the cheapo people that really just want a reasonably decent drone and they don't want to spend $800-900. But then if they want to buy more, they spend $800. And then the Air is for the people just above that want something that has a better gimbal. Blah 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 blah. You can go back and forth. I mean, there's so many minor differences. It's stupid. They should. I think it was they made the move to do it, and they'll probably be successful. But I never would have made two products with such close specs, in my opinion. You know what, Owen? I wouldn't call that jealousy because I admire your videos. They are so good. I really do. But if you want, I can rip a couple of them apart, but I won't. Not right now because that's not this video. Earlier, I was going to do a video review today, but nobody submitted any videos except Owen. And he says, well, if you're going to do it, here's one video for me. And then nobody else gave me videos. And I'm not making this the Owen channel. He's got his own channel. Yeah, and see, and Scott, we can go back and forth on this. The Spark and the Mavic, da. But the level of people the people that are looking at a Spark or a Mavic, you're not looking at, I'm not their market, you're not their market. the people that are looking at those are looking at an entry-level drone, and they're not giving a crap about the quality of camera. And if they are looking at the quality of camera, then they're not in that market. Then they're looking at the Mavic Pro or the Phantom series or maybe the Mavic Air. They're not going any lower than a Mavic Air, because if they're looking at cameras, they're not looking at the Spark. So that's what my point is. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, well, that's because yours are crap, man. You had some good stuff, but you don't have any. Yeah, you're drinking. You're always drinking, except when you're driving, right? Mavic Pro 2. See, I'm looking at that's a possibility of mine, because the Mavic Pro 2 might be a little level above what my P4P is, but then the Phantom is going to come out and it's going to have the interchangeable lenses and some other stuff. So we'll see. No, yeah. Oh, absolutely, Ross. He's got some really good content. He's got some really good content. I've actually got another channel that I've picked. It's going to get a shout out, but it's going to be a couple months yet. Yeah, the Mavic 2 Pro is going to be good. It's like I'm telling you. Exactly. For $100 more, it's almost like the bait and switch, isn't it? For $100 more, you can get this one. It's got a 3-axis gimbal. It's got a better camera. You know, it's got better sensors. For $100. For $100. Come on, who wouldn't do that? How's that for sales? I used to do sales. I hate it. You know, and Owen, and you'll be happy with it. That's a good camera. It's a good drone. It's a good flying camera. Don't crash it. I don't think you will. You're a pretty good pilot. You're talking about competition for DJI. Oh, yeah. Yes, I am still live. My Spark is a good... Okay, so... And I guess we kind of proven our point on why DJI needs to have more competition. Because they have too many good drones out. And I would love to see some other companies, Autel, Intel, whoever else, in Google... SpaceX drone. Who would not buy a drone that has the word SpaceX on it? I mean, seriously. That is what I'm saying. I mean, if someone comes out with these kinds of drones and really puts the screws on to DJI, this is the exact problem. Because here we are all fanboying over DJI, and yet we all would like to have someone have competition, but there isn't any yet. Because they have too good at quality stuff. And I agree, they do. But there needs to be something better. Wasting for the monorail. Okay, Craig, you're wasting for the monorail. So DJI is a massive that I was talking to a newbie who thought the Mavic was a different company from the Phantom. Yeah, no. I think they probably do that on purpose too. DJI pushes out the Mavic Pro 2 before the Evo comes out. Autel is dead. Stan, they may not be dead, but they're definitely knocking on the door. Because the Mavic 2 is going to have the 1-inch sensor, and if the Evo doesn't throw on a 1-inch sensor and start punching them out, I think it's going to be crap. I'll sell you my drone for the SpaceX sticker on it for $2,500. Yeah, sure, you were waiting. I'm sure you were waiting for the monorail. Wasting is the word you said. Okay. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the monorail ride. I'm going to get me a SpaceX sticker too and sell mine for $2,500 all day long. And of course, it's going to look a lot like a Phantom 3. I'm not going to have any remotes. You're not going to have any batteries. You're just going to have the SpaceX logo sticker on there. Boom. Actually, I wonder if we can get copyright infringement if we actually just bought a bunch of SpaceX stickers. The Falcon Heavy drone. Ooh. Well, the drone ship, but the Falcon Heavy drone would be cool. I agree. See, who wouldn't buy that? I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if Elon Musk put a decent drone together that was good and then stuck freaking SpaceX on it, people would buy the crap out of it. Xiaomi was a great drone for me to learn on for $450. Those I've heard very good for beginner drones. I've heard excellent things about those. Not for me, because Autel was a good beginner for me, and it's probably a little more pricey than I should have started with, but it's what I started with. Get over it. I mean, I can sell just the SpaceX sticker for $1,500. Oh, yeah, because you're probably going to get copyright infringement, so you might as well get that money now. I'm skeptical Starman hasn't moved an inch since MEC. Really? Starman, they said that Starman is probably not going to make Mars orbit. It's either going to overshoot it or it's going to miss something. I forget what it is. Autel relies on loyal X-Star customers, Matt, and DJI haters who don't, but DJI for the sake. Yeah, exactly. That's what Autel relies on. But, slowly but surely, as they don't release a new product, people like Matt, not Brian, because Brian's pretty hardcore. Brian doesn't care. But people like Matt, they're like, I need a good drone, and I need a good drone now, and here's one that I can have. So they go get that. They go get the DJI, or they'll get a Unique, which would be a bad idea, or they'll get whatever. But they're going to move away from Autel because Autel hasn't put out a new product. Main engine cut off. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking of flying a drone and main engine cut off. Bad, yeah. Yeah, I heard it was just they missed the mark a little bit. It's a good deal. Just don't ask me where they came from, how much I paid. And Craig, I'll tell you what. I'll get my own. You're going to end up with a P4P. Matt, you might want to hold off a little bit while it's still going to be 6 or 8 months till the P5 comes out. If Autel doesn't release a new drone, it's going to go downhill soon. And Matt, you can disagree or whatever, but I think that Owen has definitely got a point there, because even if they have a lot of money to throw into their drones, and even if the guy that wants to have the coolest drones out there, if he doesn't actually put them out there, the interest will get lost. That means he has to rebuild that whole customer base again, and he's going to be a bigger uphill battle because DJI had already gained a lot more, and the people that are Autel fans that go to DJI, and they're like, well, if Autel comes out with something, it's too late, because now they're still playing catch up. I mean, I am just so disappointed with Autel. Is he the toy Tesla in the dash of the moon car? No, I didn't see that. I saw the Don't Panic. Waiting for a good price of DJI and older models. They release a new. The Mavic has dropped. The Mavic Pro has dropped. The price has. Yeah, and Craig, you agree too. And it's not. And it just sucks. It sucks. I want Autel to go. I want Autel to make money. I want Autel to succeed. I want. Like I said, SpaceX drones, man. Maybe I'll just franchise the name space, or not franchise. What's the word? Buy the rights to use the SpaceX logo and build a drone with SpaceX logo on it. It'll be a piece of crap, but I'll sell the crap out of it. Well, see, Matt, that's the point. My point is it doesn't matter if they have the money and the time to wait. It doesn't matter, because at some point, even their most loyal customers are going to be like, screw it, you have waited too long, and they are going to have to rebuild that whole the cold customer base from scratch, because there's going to be like 5 people that are going to give a crap, and now and people are going to go, oh, Autel, yeah, it's kind of like BlackBerry. BlackBerry was the top of the line. You couldn't go anywhere without somebody saying about their BlackBerry, and then they fell behind, and now BlackBerry still has a very good product, but nobody wants them. I mean, or very few people want them. License, thank you, Scott. That's what I was looking. We're going to license. Thank you very much. Momentum is what. Yeah, there will be a market, but they are going to fight. It's going to be harder for them to grab what they have now if they would just do what they got to do to keep their market share and just keep it going with decent quality. Unless there's a nuclear war. BlackBerry doesn't have a good product anymore. Well, see, I've heard they do. I've heard that their product is fantastic, but nobody likes it. I mean, their product for business purposes, and Scott, you can maybe tell me if I'm right or wrong, but from what I understand from another person in IT, they would much prefer their users have BlackBerries because of security. But then, of course, that's right. BlackBerry did start using Android, and I know that's not as secure as secure as BlackBerry was. BlackBerry doesn't have a good product anymore, but BlackBerry did. BlackBerry was sustainable. They could have kept it going. Yeah, they don't make their but see, that's what I'm saying, Craig. If they would have kept doing that and they would have kept that momentum going, they would probably still be a good player in the mobile phone market. They would have kept up if they would have kept up, and that's. I see the same thing with Autel. I mean, Autel never had it. Does tech support for a certain cell phone company. Oh, okay. If there was a nuclear war, I'd film it. My parents would be like, "We have to go now," but I'd be like, "But I gotta get so many views." Tries to compete with DJI. Has to have a good app with many features. Totally agree. Couldn't agree more, Steve. Couldn't agree more, because if those features are not there, forget about it. Either that or their drone has to be freaking not phenomenal. Firm opponents carry special spec for security purposes, and that's what I'm saying. Blackberries were more secure. Anyway, I think we're about done. Holy cow, guys, we've been over an hour. It's been over an hour. Bush? No, I believe it was Jimmy Carter. No, just kidding. Their old CEO screwed BlackBerry and it didn't future-proof, sadly. Yeah, they thought they were untouchable. And see, that was the thing. And Autel's not there. Autel never got to the point to where they thought they were untouchable. DJI, maybe DJI will go the route of BlackBerry. I doubt it. No problem, Steve. I mean, you had a very good point there. It has to be good software. It has to be solid software, not crashing software. You know, the software can't sit there and crash in the middle of a flight. I mean, DJI's does. I mean, it doesn't do it as much anymore, but, you know, it still has to be good, solid software, lots of features, good stuff, all that. You are absolutely right. I was a very effective network manager at Bell South with my BlackBerry. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What a comment to repeat. And I didn't see the comment, but I know it repeat. It does that. You guys know the bugs. This thing is a little weird. I don't know. It's this thing right here. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here, man. It's been over an hour. My wife has been wonderful. She's been very quiet. And it is Valentine's Day. I hope you guys did do something for your significant other. If you have one, if you don't have one, I hope you have a great Valentine's Day anyway, or anti-Valentine's Day, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Or you have a good Wednesday. I know. Thanks for the discussion. No, okay, Steve. Thanks. Yeah. Put out a pilot and release an update. Yes. Go to new chat window, Brad. Yeah, Scott, I'll get right on that. No, thank you. Hey, Calvin, nice to see you stop by. So anyway, real quick, let's just show you my pretty pictures. Let's show you those real quick. I want to say that I hope everybody's a happy Valentine's Day. Don't forget that you can always support the channel in the super chat, which is right there right now, or you can follow, or you can do what Scott and Stan have done, and you can definitely support me on Patreon, all this good stuff. I'm not going to really push that too much right now. I just want to say thank you very much for joining me on my live stream and participating in the very, very lively chat. It was wonderful, and I had a great time this evening. So I would like to say thank you very much. Fly safe, and bye.